All right, good morning. So today we are going over trimming and shaping a beard. I haven't shaved my beard now or trimmed my beard for 4 or 5 days. I like to keep pretty regular maintenance on it, especially for work, just making sure that it's presentable, it's looks decent, isn't all scraggly, isn't everywhere, and it's also why it's not getting any bigger than this. Who knows, maybe I'll let it grow out eventually. But right now, what I'm gonna do is show you how I trim, shape, and just kind of get it to this. So, a few things you're gonna need. First of which, and I guess you can do this with clippers, shears, scissors, but I always start with an electric shaver. I do keep a pair of scissors on hand for a couple little strays, but the majority of the work I do is with this. So you'll need this, couple of your smallest combs that attach onto the top of it. I recommend a brush or comb. I've had this one for a little over 1.5 years. It's great. Wooden, I don't go with plastic. A lot of times with the plastic you find that in between each of the teeth, as it's been cut and punched out, you get a lot of little jagged edges which can cause you to snag, which cause split ends, which is, I feel weird as a guy with no hair on my head talking about split ends, but I work with what I've got, only got the beard, so try and keep it in as decent shape as possible. So we'll start with the beard. Always go comb it out. I woke up, I haven't showered yet. I've had some people tell me definitely shower before you shave, but I got stuff I gotta do today and I'm not doing 2 showers. So comb it out, just get any little tangles out, get it down into its shape, and then what I actually will do to do an initial shaping, I'll start from the bottom up all the way at the base of my neckline and just comb it up and out. Try to kind of pull out and away. Get its full bushiness going. Until it's that full fluffy. So part of why I do this is that way you can see your hair at its more or less full length. At that point, normally again I don't do this with clothes on, hoodie on, but anyways, here we go. So I'll start at the top, and actually my first thing that I do is I hit my hairline, well, my lack of hairline right here. I'll buzz this down, and I give it a slight, when I do it, I give it a slight angle facing forward that kind of, from here to here, that kind of fits along with this line that I'm keeping here in line with what I keep for my jawline. Same thing on the other side. And it's minor, but kind of helps you give a slightly elongated look to it, and especially my chin actually sits up there. It's not as giant as it looks in here. but that can kind of help a little bit with your keeping your face a little bit longer looking. Anyways, so here we go. So, as I've now smoothed all this down again, fluff it back up and out. So, shortest setting, right at the hairline, right to bring it down. One of my biggest pet peeves for guys who are especially either keep it buzzed or clean shave is when you have a really hard line here. And I guess that really comes down to your preference. Personally, I really like to have kind of a blend, a gradual fade, and I just think it looks a little bit nicer versus just a real heavy line into the rest of your beard. So at that point, pop on, this is my 1mm comb. And I just barely go in, kind of hit that and begin blending. I'm gonna shave after this, but blend what will be clean shaven into this. So just, I kind of use visual markers on my head. The top of whatever this thing on my ear is called is kind of my, my first blend point. I then move my way up to my 3mm comb. And again, just another 1/3 of an inch maybe, just to blend that in. And then my last, my 5. And basically, that's kind of about how I take from that to that. With that being said, at this point I revert back down to my single base blade, the shortest setting you've got on your thing. Mine doesn't have one of those little adjustable thumb blade lengtheners, which I wish it did, but it doesn't, so I make do with what I've got right now. And at that point, I will start taking the shape on this. I know what I want with the shape of my beard, and so I'm going to start working towards that. If you live with someone you're married, or someone who doesn't have a beard, I recommend, great tip, clean up after yourself. Don't leave hairs all over the sink. If you've got one of those things that you can hook up to your mirror and around your neck, they're great. I have one. Unfortunately, my neck is too big and it doesn't stay on. So I now just do extra cleaning. Anyways, here we go. I would start taking just excess off, what I can notice for just the strays. Kind of cleaning it up. And just kind of keeping it that shape that I want it to be. Kind of moving it towards that point. This is probably not the greatest visual on this. As you can tell, I'm still figuring out all this out. The one thing I have discovered is that apparently I need a better light to do this with, but you get a general idea. Is that you will probably notice more of a little mess ups in your beard than other people will. But I'm super self-conscious about this, so I've already noticed I've hit a couple spots where I didn't quite want to. But you just keep going. Your beard should keep growing. Give yourself a nice double chin while you get ready to get little extras out. And I'm really not taking off all that much. Mostly just hitting the strays, kind of reshaping it. I haven't really reshaped my beard in a while, so I figured I might as well do it today. So again, for anyone who's growing a beard knows you can't put it back on, so just kind of go slow. Comb it out. And at this point, that's more or less the extent of what I do on mine. I will go back over it, check. Definitely got a few little leftovers in there. Just kind of hit those. And I think that's kind of it. So that's it for the basic shape. What I hit next is my neckline. And another thing that I recommend for anyone doing this, when you're doing your neckline, figure out where your Adam's apple is. You want it to basically hit, mine's a touch short apparently, but apparently you want it to hit right about here. So you don't want to have your beard line come underneath here. You want to have it all the way down here. Just helps keep the shape and all that kind of where it needs to be. So take the shortest setting, clean it up under there. And once I get in the shower, I'll clean that up, clean out my cheek lines a little bit. And then for my last little bit, I'll take my scissors and just clean out kind of any of the excess that hasn't been picked up with there. My last little setting I use is this guy here. Remember when you're doing this, if you get any ear hair, trim those guys down. Nose hairs that are sticking out, get those guys. And I always get the corners of my mouth. Right in here, I always get the fun little hairs that grow into my mouth. And they're no fun. especially when you spend all day licking your lip trying to get that thing done. So anyways, that's it. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to post down below on things I can do if you do something with your beard. Let me know. Let's love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching and have a great day.